Here we go then with our final race of the day here at the Rich Energy British Mini Bikes round number 2 at Red Lodge, and this is how they line up for the Cymoto's Mini Bike 140 final. It'll be Rhys Stevenson on pole position from Richard Holmes Williams, Ryan Tyers in 3rd, Ben Lord in 4th, Chase Collymore 5th, Ryan Clark in 6th place, 7th for Dan Pearson, Joe Woodward in 8th, James Herring 9th, 10th for Michael Ford, Dan Merrin 11th, Michael Med in 12th position, 13th for Oliver Lensdale, Will Lathrop in 14th, Mick Lord in 15th from Carl Sanders, Nick Shaw and Gaz Pearson taking us down to 18th position, Nathan Smith 19th, Chloe Jones in 20th, Casey Hanby 21st, Ross Richards 22nd, Nathan Gardner 23rd, Adam Jameson rounding up the 24th with Dean Quincy in 25th, our final rider on the grid. 25 riders scheduled to take part in this race, and 2 riders of course to look out for in this one, Jim Lovell and Ryan Tyers, of course 2 of the leading names in British mini bike racing in there too, as we wait for the flag to drop. And away we go, Rhys Stevenson on the inside, gets the jump into the first corner. Richard Holmes Williams in there too. Will they make it through centre safely? It's very quick into that first corner, one rider going a bit wide, but they all seem to make their way through the first 2 corners safely. So Stevenson leads, Holmes Williams 2nd, Tyers 3rd, Lord in 4th position. Bit tight towards the back of the field, but the leader's now screaming down the straight run for the first time. Holmes Williams getting a jump down the straight and trying to line up Rhys Stevenson, who's got the line into Esses. Holmes Williams trying to get the exit now. Here they come down the Simpson Straight. Tyers and Lord just behind in 3rd and 4th position. They make their way through Paddock Bend. Here come the leaders. And it's, well, we'll look for Stevenson on the lap charts very shortly, but Holmes Williams in 2nd place, very close though through centre. Tyers 3rd, Lord in 4th. Pearson just behind us. Holmes Williams again looking at Rhys Stevenson. 1, 2, 3, the race leader. Stevenson looking down the track, trying to get the line as they make their way through the Warren back onto the straight run, the fastest part of the track. Stevenson pulls away slightly, covers the line to prevent Holmes Williams from getting through, making their way back towards Simpson Straight. Ryan Tyers still there in 3rd place, still a long way to go as we just see Holmes Williams having a peek down the inside of Rhys Stevenson, the race leader. They cross the line. Holmes Williams down the inside into centre. Great move there from Richard Holmes Williams to take the lead. Stevenson down to 2nd. Back marker just hold the line, let the leaders through as they go through 180. But look out for Ryan Tyers in 3rd place. He is up there. Oh, but Stevenson makes a small mistake on the Warren. Stood the bike up in the corner. That will allow Tyers to close up. So Richard Holmes Williams, your race leader. Rhys Stevenson in 2nd place. Ryan Tyers pressuring in 3rd with 10 laps to go. Holmes Williams pulls away slightly as they make their way down towards Paddock Bend. And along the mark into the finish line straight, 9 laps to go. Holmes Williams, your race leader. Stevenson 2nd, Tyers 3rd. Rhys Stevenson not giving this one up. If you're watching earlier, of course, you'll know he had a frightening crash earlier on in the day. Took some medical treatment and back out there to complete the day's racing, and still as competitive as ever. Richard Holmes Williams though leads the way and is determined to hold on. Ben Lord just a little bit further behind, 3.5 seconds adrift, but if these 3 start battling and holding each other up, this could allow Ben Lord back into it. Oh, but Ryan Tyers goes down, a small mistake, and Tyers goes down on the exit. I don't think he's dropped any oil as he kept the engine running. The bike's still in gear, I think, so yeah, he's got the clutch. He's going to, oh, he's just struggling to get going again. So Ryan Tyers, a big moment there. One of the championship front runners goes down on the Esses. So that brings it down to a 2-way fight for the lead. Richard Holmes Williams, Rhys Stevenson, Ben Lord 48 just a little bit further behind. He will need these 2 to start battling if he's going to get involved in this battle for the lead. At the moment, there looks like Stevenson and Holmes Williams, and Rhys Stevenson down the inside into the Esses. Makes the pass. Now, can he make it stick? Holmes Williams will come to fight back now as they make their way along Simpson Straight. Stevenson holds on. Holmes Williams right on his rear wheel in second. This race is far from over, and we still have 7 laps to go. And here we see the line choice now as Holmes Williams takes it wide, but Stevenson parks the bike on the apex, prevents him from making the switchback and making the move stick. Very close indeed. Always got to be careful there, Holmes Williams, not to tap the back wheel of Stevenson. 1 or 2 tail enders in front. Ryan Tyers all the way down in 22nd place as we look at the 723 of Gaz Pearson in 21st. Is he aware that the leaders are coming through? So Stevenson gets through, as does Holmes Williams. This will increase the pressure now. Rhys Stevenson is the first rider to start catching up on the tail enders. If they're racing for position, they may not be aware that it's the leader coming through. Just adding to the pressure. Stevenson coping very well. See, of course, he had that nasty crash earlier on today, so a little bit patched together. Battered and bruised, you might say, but still holding on to the lead. Richard Holmes Williams is certainly not letting him have things his own way, though, in second place. He still wants this race victory. 6 laps to go. And I wonder what Holmes Williams in second's doing here, the 126. Is he racing for position right now? Or is he just sitting there in second? He might just be weighing up Stevenson, the race leader, just seeing where he can make a move possibly, rather than doing anything too rash, trying to get through. Looking at the lines possibly where he might be able to improve on Stevenson. In the meantime, of course, just got to tag on as they make their way through the slow riders. Oh, but the back marker just cuts in front of Stevenson. Now sees the leaders coming through and lets them go by. This is part of racing, you would say. This is still as close as ever. 5 laps to go, and Holmes Williams really keeping the pressure on the race leader, Rhys Stevenson. These two really cleared away now. Ben Lord, 8.6 seconds adrift in third. They really are pushing each other along, these two. This is what happens sometimes. You've got 2 guys fighting for the lead. They just push each other down the track effectively. No room for error. The rest of the field cuts adrift. Ben Lord in third, Chase Collymore fourth, Will Lathrope in fifth, Michael Med, Dan Pearson, Ryan Clark, Mick Lord and James Herring rounding up the top 10. But at the moment it's all about this 2-way fight for the lead. Rhys Stevenson has led for a couple of laps now, but has been under constant pressure from Richard Holmes Williams in second place. They're starting to pick their way through some of the midfield riders, and they will be encountering riders who are battling for position very soon. Oh, but Stevenson just bulked momentarily through the Warren. He's got to get past the slow riders as quickly as possible. This could be the opportunity that Holmes Williams needs. He can't get down the inside though. Stevenson holds on to the line, keeps the lead. 3 more laps to go at the end of this one. Catching up now on, it looks like Dean Quincy, 17th position, battling with 254, Nathan Gardner. This, of course, is a tricky part of the race now for Stevenson as he closes up on riders who are having their own battle a lap down. They, of course, will give the line up when they know it's a faster rider coming through, but the leader just has to work a little bit harder to make his presence known. And all of the time, Richard Holmes Williams, 126 in second place, is right on the rear wheel. It has been as close as this for pretty much the entire race. Oh, but Gardner just bulking the race leader there. I don't think he knew it was the leader coming through. Pressure now really on Stevenson as they make their way into the S's. They both get past Gardner, who's now in 16th position. Another rider battling for position is Ross Richards in 15th place. Sees that it's the leaders, gives up the racing line. This is where it's so difficult, of course, for the leader. These riders they've just lapped, they're all battling for position. Of course, they're all sportsmen. They won't block the leader on purpose, but if they're battling for position equally, they don't want to give their own race up in the meantime. Which means, of course, that it makes it a bit more difficult for Stevenson, who still holds on to the lead. There's nothing between these 2 riders. 2 more laps to go. And with respect to Ben Lord and Will Lathrope, 3rd and 4th, it's all about these 2 riders over 10 seconds adrift. What can Stevenson do as they make their way into the top corner? Can Holmes Williams fight back? Through the S as they go. 1.5 laps. Oh, a small, very tiny error there from Holmes Williams in the corner. Doesn't lose much time though. Really inconsequential at the moment as Stevenson holds on now. It looks like Holmes Williams fights back as they make their way down towards Paddock Bend for what will be the penultimate time. The last lap board goes out. Over the line they go. Stevenson with the fastest lap of the race, 46.893. These two really going for it now. Let's look at Holmes Williams. Again, he tries to take the outside sweep into Senna. Down to 180 they go. Still nothing between these two. Holmes Williams has got to do something now with half a lap to go if he's going to win this race. Stevenson holds on. Through the Warren they go, down the back straight, and this is where Holmes Williams tries the outside sweep into the S's, cuts across. The inside line is blocked though. Holmes Williams takes a wider line. Once again, this back mark is in front though. This could be a part as well. They're closing up on the midfield runners rapidly. Nervous moments now for Reece Stevenson into the final corner. This is Holmes Williams' opportunity. The checker flag goes out. It's a drag race to the line, and Reece Stevenson, fantastic race there. 0.3 of a second between Reece Stevenson and Richard Holmes Williams at the flag. The midfield runners make their way through. Ross Richards, Nathan Gardner, Joe Woodward and Dean Quincy. Ben Lord, a distant third, just goes to show the pace of those two riders. 13.7 seconds adrift. Will Lathrope in fourth, just behind. Chase Collymore takes fifth position from the treble 7 of Michael Med. Mick Lord making his way through now. He finishes in 7th place. Dan Pearson in 8th. Ryan Clark in 9th, James Herring rounding up the top 10. The last riders on the lead lap being Michael Ford, Carl Sanders in 12th, Oliver Linsdell in 13th, Sanders through to 11th on the final lap, Ford up to 12th position on the 166. Oliver Linsdell goes through in 13th, and rounding up the field, our last rider on the lead lap is the treble 5 of Nathan Smith. So that is our final race of the day, and what a way to round things off. Fantastic battle between Reece Stevenson, Richard Holmes Williams. They swapped the lead a couple of times, and Stevenson holding them right through to the line.